All right, I want to share my thoughts and observations from the last few games and just go over a few things. One, let's get the build outline here. Okay, first off, when we're building out, there's a reason why I'm asking the 3 and 2 to stay near this penalty box line, the 6 to come out wide, and the 4 to come out wide, and the 5 to come down, and the 7 to stay up high. Now, based on what we're doing, we'll just go through this real quick. So first thing that should happen is the goalie should observe where are the opposing players. Are they lined up more on one side? Is there one over here? Where is the strength of the opposing team? So goalie's got to make a decision. Do I go to the 2 or the 3 based on where these are? And sometimes they'll line up in the middle, so it won't matter. But goalie's got to say, okay, where is my strong side, or where do we have more support? Okay, once he makes that decision, so let me go back here. He's going to make the ball choice. Now, as soon as the goalie passes, right, technically he should be coming over. We're shifting with where the ball is going. But the most important thing is those left and right mids. Based on if the ball's on your side, we want you to start coming down. And we'll probably get about right there. Now, why do we do this? Why do we keep the 2 and 3 inside, the 4 and 6 out? And then if the ball comes to this side, why am I encouraging the midfielders to come down? It's because now we're putting basically 3 on the back line, where the 3 now has some choices based on what the defense is doing. He can choose to pass to the 5. He can choose to go out wide to the 6. If he's got a big leg, which all the boys are starting to kick harder, they get better and better, he could try and go all the way out to the 7. But by keeping this in, he now has 3 or 4 options, and he can even switch it all the way to the 2. And how is he going to make these decisions? Well, if the 4 is coming at him, easy decision, 3 passes up to the 6, right? 6 has come down, they've got a good angle, 3 passes up to the 6. 6 is running down the touchline. Easy peasy. But let's say they start figuring out, we start doing that, and what do I see? I see another player coming over here, and they're taking away that angle. And that's when the 2 and 3 really need to be making decisions too. So the 1's deciding which side of the field to go, but the 2 and 3 need to start deciding based on how the defense is lining up where they should be going with the ball. So if 2 come over, well, then who's generally open in the middle? That's probably the 5. You got 2 on this side, you got 2 over, you're really exposing the middle 5, or even a big kick to the 7, right? Another easy decision. And if they start getting smart, they're like, oh, we get a cover, they're just going to lock down half the field. 3's got to do a big pass over to the 2. Now, did you see how this midfielder is not coming down? He's coming over. And again, that's for switching the field. So if we want to switch the field, we want the 4 to stay kind of higher so that when the 2 gets the ball, it's an immediate pass out, and then we're off to the races. Now, here's another beautiful thing. If we can work these touch lines, is that generally if the touch line goes, so we'll just keep going with the switch field, and the 4 is running up. So this is usually, we'll put Adam or Thiago here, depending on if Adam has that left foot naturally, so we like him at the 4. If we put Thiago at the 4, Thiago does have a pretty good kick, so it gives him just a more leverage on the right foot if he's on the left side. But either way, it doesn't matter. What happens usually, 4 gets the ball, the other players are swooping in, and before they gets cut off, ideally we can find a good passing angle to pass to the middle. So again, passing to the 4, 5, or 7. And what this allows us to do is just come up here, and it's a familiar drill I run with the boys where we do 3 on 2 and a goalkeeper. But if we can get the ball to the middle and start attacking once we get to that middle 3rd transition, then we're giving the player either the 7 or the 5 options to go with the ball. So if the players crash down, and again, this soccer ball, it's like a big magnet. Other players just, they want that soccer ball. And so do our players, right? Sometimes we kind of scooch in. But if we can kind of work on that build out where we're maintaining space, now the 7 or 5 when we're coming down has a lot of options. And ideally the 7's running, so the 7's even farther down the field, so the 5's running it. And this is where we haven't got to in practice. We just haven't been able to develop the master of 3v2 to do a 4v3, where now the 7's kind of set up in between the defense up high, not shown in this video. And now the 5 can pass 5, 6, 7, and just, again, more options. We're moving quickly. And that's it. And then another drill we run a lot is we'll put 2 players, 1 5, and then a defender in the middle. And the idea is, can these 2 players work together, one with the ball, to create an opening? And I made that space narrow the last time we did it, so it was really harder. And ideally, we see more of that in practice, right? And I think we did see more of that in the game, I should say, where we were seeing the players find those natural openings, especially with when it's 2v1 or even 2v2 sometimes, right? They're coming down. We're creating those. The 6 is moving around, the 3 is moving around. So those are the skills we've been working on this season. I see a little bit of progress. Obviously, we can always do more. But hopefully that is some intellectual stimulation.